Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of the Nood Troop Podcast. I am your fearless troop leader. My name is Caitlin. I help people learn to love their skin through the lens of boudoir, and we do that through education, community, and art. And you are here because you are just trying to feel better in your body, and I'm so fucking proud of you. I'm so proud of you for being here. I love this. I have been having so much fun with this podcast, and I hope you have too. I hope it's helping just a small corner of the world feel a little bit better in their skin and realize it is totally normal to feel not at home in your body. So let's talk today about photos and not liking yourself in photos, because I have been wanting to make this podcast since I started. I think it is super important to talk about, mostly because number one, I'm a boudoir photographer. I do this for a living. I take photos for a living. But number two, it is the catalyst for Caitlin Scott. It is the catalyst to help people feel better in their body. It is the catalyst to help capture people's stories. And I think photography is super fucking important in your healing journey towards body liberation, even neutrality. And there's a reason for this. We have to see our bodies in order to normalize our bodies to ourselves. A huge part of the healing journey is realizing that the way and the story you tell yourself about the way that you look and the way you actually look probably don't match. And that is okay. It's how we're conditioned, right? It doesn't make you wrong. But what it does is the longer we hide ourselves from ourselves, the more distorted our mental images of ourselves. I need you to get in front of the camera, and I need you to do it in a way that feels really healing. And I want to talk about it today because my number one most talked about, like, the reason I don't do boudoir, the reason I don't do spicy selfies is because I'm not photogenic and I don't think I'm going to like the way I look in photos. First and foremost, I need you to give yourself permission to not like the images. It's okay. It's part of the healing. You don't have to like the image to start the healing process. In fact, I don't even need you to even look at the image. I don't need you to look at the images that you take, but I do need you to take them. So today we're going to talk about some of the things, some of the science behind why you may not like your images. We're going to talk about an experience I had while I was in Banff, about an image that was taken of me and how I just had this kind of like recoil moment and how I kind of overcame that. We're going to talk about how I help my clients. So buckle in. We got a lot to talk about today. And I am so excited because I could geek out about this forever. There will probably be another episode about this. So let's get going. Okay, let's dive into the science about why you may not like images that you see that other people have taken of you, of yourself. First and foremost, an image that somebody takes of you is not the way that we see ourselves on a day-to-day basis. As humans, the only time we see ourselves is through a reflection. Whether it's a mirror, catch yourself in a window, at a shop, that is the only way we see ourselves, is literally through a reflection. And so what happens is we have this perceived notion of the way that we look because of the way that we look in mirrors, whether it's a bathroom mirror, a car mirror, your vanity mirror, your makeup mirror. We see ourselves every day on a day-to-day basis in a mirror. And a photo that is taken of you is not a mirrored reflection of you. It's the way the world sees us. Those two things are not the same. I know I don't mean to hurt your feelings on this, but the way that people see us in our life is not the way that we perceive to be seen based on what we see, based on the mirror, based on all of that. They're not the same human. I was in a conference one time, and I believe it was Terry Hofford that basically said, if you were to walk by yourself on the street, you wouldn't recognize that it was you because it's not the way that you think you look. And that's okay, right? But it is one of the main reasons why when somebody takes a photo of you, you're like, whoa, that's not me. Do I really look like that? Well, no, you don't to yourself, but you do to the rest of the world. And so you may not like that person, and that's okay, right? That is totally okay. It doesn't make either version better or worse. There's no morality there, right? It's not good or bad. It's just something that happens in your brain. So think about like the technology in our phones, the technology in TikTok. They have mirrored the recording of your front camera so that when you record with your back camera, it looks totally different. You're like, dang, I like a selfie photo, but then I turn my camera around. I'm like, oof, that's not me. That looks terrible. It's because the front camera, the technology is mirrored, because statistically and scientifically, it's proven that you do not like the way that you look when it's not mirrored. And that's okay, right? So that might be one reason that you're feeling a little squiggly about photos that somebody else takes. You may also be a little bit weird about it because you have a perceived notion of the way that you look, whether it's through you think your body is a certain size, or, you think your butt looks smaller than it is or bigger than it is, or you think clothes fit you differently. You may have some dysmorphia. So the way that you perceive yourself, the way that you think about yourself, and the way that you think you look sometimes doesn't match the way you actually look. And that's okay. Again, none of this is anything to feel shameful about. In fact, this is a place to come and unpack your shame. So don't say any of this if it applies to you and then have you feel shame about it. That's not the point of this. The point is just to give you some ideas as to why you may not like the images of yourself that you see that were taken, which might scare you away from like utilizing art to heal. So this is a shame-free zone. Don't feel shameful about this. I'm just trying to give you some ideas, but you might perceive yourself differently than the way that you see yourself in an image. And that is totally, totally fine. Another thing that happens, when somebody else takes a photo of you, you are no longer in control of the lighting, of the angle, of what's shown, right? Like sometimes people are like, oh, I really love my face, but I don't love the way my chin looks. And so they oftentimes will take a photo higher up so that there's no, you can't see the bottom side of their chin. You have no control over the lighting or the angle when somebody else takes an image. So it may not be what you want because it may show more than what you're willing to show. It's why I always ask my clients before we even start, like this is in their pre-call, well before their shoot. I ask the question, is there anything on your body that you're learning to love? And what are some favorite things? Because when we're taking images, we have this very fine line that we're walking where we can do a lot of good or a lot of bad. There's really not like a middle ground. We can either help you feel really good in your body, or I can not listen to you, not ask the right questions, take photos of things that you feel really hypersensitive about or insecure in, and do more harm. I can leave you worse than I found you. And my goal is always do no harm, leave you better than I found you. So we have the conversations about, what are you learning to love? Is there anything on your body that you're like just working through, not quite ready? And oftentimes it's things like my double chin, the texture and consistency of my belly, the size of my butt, the way I have back rolls, things like that, things that every body has, but it just depends on what level of comfort you have with them. So I would never take a photo of somebody sitting with just like a two-piece set on with their belly doing what bellies do, which is like just roll and squish. I would never have them sitting upright or leaned over where it like emphasizes that. We never hide it. That's never ever the intention. But I'm also not going to put like a spotlight on it. I wouldn't do like a panty pull over the top of your belly if you have like sensory issues with the texture of your skin there. We just wouldn't do it because we want to leave you better than we found you. When somebody else is taking a photo of you, you have no control of that. And it may be why you feel insecure or why you don't like that image. And that is okay. So I always say, if you have the ability to start taking your own photos first to realize what you like and what you want to maybe not see, I would encourage you to do that so that if somebody else is taking a photo of you, you can clearly communicate to them like, hey, I love when I look like this. Hey, I love when I'm this way or that way, or lean back or lean forward or whatever. These are my favorite body parts. So you can help kind of like navigate that with them. And if you have a photographer that is not asking you those questions, red flag. You need to have those conversations because the idea is that when you're taking these photos to heal, you have to see your body in a way that is very natural, very normal, but you don't have to force feed yourself beyond the point of your comfort level. This is a bit of exposure therapy, but there's a point in exposure therapy where it becomes terror and fear and you're not healing at all, right? And so you have to know kind of what that boundary is. Those are things that we navigate, I think, because it's super important. Lighting and angles are a big deal. If you have terrible overhead lighting, you're not ever going to like the photo. You're just not. If you have straight down lighting from the top, you don't have side light, you don't have soft light, you don't have whatever that you're looking for, and you just have fluorescent lights that are above you, you're never going to like the photo. The color cast, the shadows, the hollows under your cheeks, it's never going to be good. So if you're using art to heal, know that these things are things that you need to take into consideration, whether you're taking the photo or you're having somebody else do it. It might be the reason why you're like, oh God, these photos, do I really look like that? And it might freak you the fuck out. And that's okay. That's okay. It may not be your body. It may be the factors that are not being taken into consideration during the photo. Comparison is what kills curiosity. I have clients come into the studio and they live in a body that looks like mine, like an 18-20, a size 2X. And they bring me only example photos of humans that are either an extra, extra small body or very angular, very thin, very flat. They have blonde hair and my client has brown hair. Those images are beautiful for that human. If we try and compare and create the exact same image of the photo that you like, you're never going to be happy because it won't look like the photo that you brought in. Now, there's a lot of like tangents to this. It's always fun to kind of like interpret that photo a certain way, but then use it on the body type that you have. But comparison will kill your momentum. If you take photos that you want to look like a very specific person or a very specific body type, you're never going to be happy with them. And so if you have this crazy mentality of like, it has to look like this, I really want it to, these are the inspiration photos, it can only look this way, it is problematic, right? Because you are never going to look like those photos. So comparison can kind of kill your curiosity and it can kill your forward momentum. And so try not to compare yourself to what you see, to ads. We don't know if that photo is photoshopped to hell and back. We don't know if their body actually looks like that. We know that for the most part, if it's in a professional campaign, it's been photo retouched to hell. There's liquefy that has happened, clone stamping. They've taken every texture and detail. There's no blemishes. There's no dimples, wrinkles, things like that. And that's part of our media. They do not have to disclose that. So when you're comparing yourself to images, other people's images, you're never going to be happy with your body. Not because you're not happy with your body, but because you're not happy with the result. So I want to talk about kind of like how we navigate this. I have told you in previous podcasts, I'm never going to come with a problem that I don't come with a solution. And I don't think there's really a solution to this. I think it just gets easier with time. But I want to give you an example of something that happened while I was in Banff. I was there with some friends and we went out on this really amazing day. I was wearing an outfit that I felt just really comfortable in. It was like a stretchy black skirt and a kind of a cropped black top. I call it my uniform because I wear black all the time. I'm such a sweaty person that like black just makes me feel really good in my body. And we joke, it's like I wear like a big chunky earring, a black crop top, a black skirt, and call it a day. No big deal. And we had left, I was staying in my camper at the time. We had left the camper, gone downtown. We were sitting by this amazing little river, and it was super hot. So I had my feet in this like ice cold, delicious water. And we had either stopped for wine or beer. Either way, we were drinking down by the river, having such a great day. It was sunny. It was delicious. Friends were in town. We were just having the greatest day ever. Well, my friend took a photo that when I saw it, it almost derailed the day. I mean, genuinely almost derailed the day. The angle was really bad. The lighting was really bad. The perceived notion of how I looked in the outfit compared to how I looked in real life was very different. I was sweating. What else? I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. I don't know if I said that, but like my belly was very prominent. You could see the outline of my belly button. And these were all things that I had been told growing up that like, ooh, that's really unflattering. So all of these noises and voices were like, you're a fat fuck. You can't go have fun. Your body's not even looking right. Like, what is your problem? And because I do this for a living, because I've seen many therapists, I've had an eating disorder, I have done the work, I have trained and been in this journey for a lot of years. I was able to go, look, in my brain, I was able to go, okay, self, look, it doesn't matter how you look, you can still have a good day. The only person that thinks your body looks a weird way, a certain way, a bad way is you. You're the only person that has the ability to ruin your day. Nobody once has stopped you and been like, you're a fat fuck and ugly, and how dare you be out? How dare you have the audacity to wear that outfit and be out in public? Nobody said that. In fact, I had people be like, oh my God, you look so great in that outfit. Oh my God, I love that top on you. I had people stop me and be like, oh my God, you give me the confidence to wear other stuff like this. Like, so I was already like, okay, I feel really good. So I was kind of pulling all of my like grasping for straws of things like, okay, I know the voices in my head are not real. They're voices that were implanted there. Those are not my own voice. Those are voices that I interpreted and ingested from society and media and the people around me. Those are not real. Let's pluck those out, put them on a canoe and send them down the fucking river. I always talk about them like as old curmudgeon-y men, the voices that happen, this super negative self-talk. I call them the council, and I think of them like old men, and I pluck them out of my brain and I think about putting them on a canoe and sending them down the river. I was ironically standing in a river. So I was like, perfect. Let's get the council out of my brain. Let's pull them out, put them in a canoe and send them down the river. Perfect. And I just didn't let it ruin the day. We went on to have the best day ever, literally the best day ever. We went to this like Greek restaurant that evening. We had the best time. I got pulled up on stage and was able to like break plates and do amazing things. And I just had the best day ever. And so it is easy in the moment to let a photo derail you because you have all of these like perceived notions of the way you look, or you have the fear of, am I going to see my body the way it really is, not the way that I angle it right and take these selfies so that I get images that I like. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? We have one life. We have one delicious, messy, gross, amazing life. And if we don't live it and document it, who in the fuck is going to remember what your life was like? No one. I started this journey because my dad died and we didn't have the photos made. All we have left when somebody leaves is the breadcrumb of the digital media that they leave behind. In years and decades past, it was actual print media. Now we have the access to leave behind this beautiful long footprint of all the amazing things we've done. And all we're doing is documenting the deliciousness of the day, of the moment, of the breath in time. We have such cool technology that we can literally capture an amazing moment in time to cherish and remember forever. If you are too afraid of the way that you look in that image, what the fuck are you leaving behind? What story are you leaving behind? What breadcrumbs are you leaving behind? You're not. We don't take photos on this earth for our own pleasure. We take them so that we have a story to leave behind. And that is it. That is it. So you don't have to love the image. You don't. In fact, I preface my clients and the people I work with to take selfies at home that you are not going to like every image. I'm going to say that again in case you missed it. When you take photos, you are not going to like every image, and that is okay. You have the ability to pick and choose what stays and what goes. And what I will always encourage you to do is if a photo makes you feel fucking squiggly, you leave it in your camera roll, you hide it in a folder, you do something, but you don't throw it away. Because if you're like me, and I know you are because you're fucking here, this is a little tough love today, you are going to look back at photos that you were gagged about. Oh, those are terrible. I look so bad. And you're going to be like, whoa, that person's hot. That person's doing amazing things. Why the fuck didn't I like that photo? And you're going to love it. You're going to look back just like you do. I know you do from high school photos when you thought you were the fattest person on the planet. You thought you were the biggest elephant in the room. And you look back and you're like, wow, I was so hot. What did I have to be insecure about? What did I possibly have to be insecure about? I have photos of my very first boudoir session. There was a photographer up in Philly. I don't think they do boudoir anymore either way. So I'm not going to mention who it was, but at the time was like a very prominent boudoir photographer. Everyone knew them. They were a very, very big deal. And when I got my photos back, I was horrified. I hated them. I was like, and this was like when I was starting to shoot boudoir, I was like, oh my God, if I feel this way about my images, how am I going to help my clients navigate this? And here's the deal. I put them in a folder and I gave myself some time. When I looked at them a few weeks later, I was like, okay, wait, let me step out of my own way. Let me stop hyperfixating on the things and the bits and the bobs that like really gave me a squiggle. And let me just look at the overall image, like composition. Let's look at the lighting. Let's look at it from the eye of a photographer rather than the eye of somebody who is like hypercritical about their body at the time. This was, I think, 2016. It was right when I started. Yeah, 2016, 2017, either way. So I was like just barely starting my journey into boudoir. Yeah, it was because 2017 is when I officially started shooting boudoir and 2018 is when I went full-time boudoir. So it was 2017. I had just gained like 85 pounds. I, for the first time, had a little bit of a bee belly. So I had a little bit of a like belly hang, apron belly. My boobs were bigger. I had back rolls. I was like, life is over as I know it because I don't have an athletic build. I played basketball through college. Like I've only known my body a certain way, and to watch it change was like horrifying, right? So I did what I now tell my clients to do: put the images away. Let them sit and marinate. It can be 2 days. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 2 years down the road, but don't throw them the fuck away. Keep them because I want you to go back and look. The images that make you feel the squiggliest are the ones that will help you grow the most. But I was dumped an image gallery of like 85 images, and only thing I could see in the fucking images was my belly that hung and touched the top of my thighs. I thought the world was over. I put them away. I let it marinate. It was not even 2 weeks later. I opened them and shared them with my partner to like look at, and to watch them see and witness my body and my images through the eyes of somebody who loved me at the time made me go, oh my gosh, wait, that is a beautiful body. Look at the composition on that photo. Look at the way the light is kissing off like the top of my thigh and my shoulder. Oh, wait, look at how beautiful my little back rolls are. It gave me a perspective to like be curious about what my body actually looks like, right? And so images that make you feel the squiggliest are the ones that allow you to be the most curious, that allow you to grow the most, that allow you to give you the opportunity to like lean in and go, okay, what is the reason that I don't like these images? What is it? And is it a real reason? Is it something that society told me I shouldn't like? Is it because I should feel shame around a belly that touches my thighs? Is it because a back roll is like the worst thing a woman could have? None of those things are truth. Those are all lies that we were told, right? And so it just allows you to be curious and to be, like an explorer of your own body. And it took witnessing somebody that loved me, seeing the images and being so in awe about how beautiful I was, for me to go, wait, let me just check this at the door and really figure out, why is it that I don't like these images? And let's unpack that. And sometimes an image gives you that ability. It does. And that is so beautiful. And so you may not like the image when you take it, but who cares? Keep it anyways. Again, you're telling the story of your life. You're witnessing a moment in time that is so beautiful, and we don't get it back. It's such a cool technology that we have the ability to essentially capture time in a magic little bubble to revisit. We can time travel anytime we want by looking at an image that somebody either captured or we captured. So who gives a fuck if you like your body or not? Who gives a fuck if you feel squiggly? Okay, cool. Let's talk about the day. Did you have a great time? Did you see your grandma? Did you eat delicious food? Did you laugh till your belly hurt? Did you get to break plates at a Greek restaurant? Were you dipping your toe in the fucking river in Banff? Were you with people you love? Did you eat delicious food? Did you sing? Did you dance? Did you love? Did you laugh? Did you cry? No one cares about the way your body looked if you can have an image that reminds you of the day. I get goosebumps talking about this. I do, because I genuinely think that if we could get out of our own way and just capture moments and allow them to be moments without hyperfixating on our body, we would be just so much more delighted in life. We would be able to look at images and not think, oh my gosh, look at my belly hang. Oh my gosh, I hate the way I look there. Who cares? You're the only person that sees yourself that way. You are. The people that are around you don't love you simply because of the way that you look or simply because you have a body that looks a certain way. They love you because they love you. They love your laugh. They love your spirit. They love your heart. They're not there because they fucking hate you. So it's like we're just capturing moments, and that's the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters. So some solutions to this, because you're like, Caitlin, none of this matters. Your story is cool, but it's not me. Okay, I hear you. It was you. It was me though. It was. I showed a friend images the other day of when I was in the throes of my eating disorder. I was 120 pounds at 6 feet tall. And I literally looked like a bag of bones. And at the time that those photos were taken, I thought I was the biggest person in the room. And I literally could see my ribs and my hip bones, and I look like a bag of bones. So your brain is lying to you, no matter what. It's lying to you. So some solutions. Number one, the act of setting up your camera and taking an image is where we start to heal. It is not through the image itself. It is the act and the experience of taking an image. It's why when people come into my studio, I'm like, hey, I don't give a fuck if you like the images. I know that's counterintuitive, but like, we're not here to make art that is photoshopped and airbrushed and like your dream body that is not obtainable and that you cannot recreate at home. I want you to take what you've done today and go home and continue this journey and this legacy, right? So we're not here to create art that feels like this ideal, perfect body of Barbie that's been photoshopped. We're not here to do that. And so I don't give a shit if you like the photos or not. You don't have to. When somebody comes in my studio, I have 3 experience options that do include some photos. The first one is an hour with a certain set of photos. The second is a 2-hour session with photos and either a little black book or some Polaroids. And the big one is like a VIP experience where they get all their images in a book and all sorts of stuff, right? So I want people to be able to experience what they want to experience without putting the emphasis on the photo being the reason that they're there. I need you to do the same thing at home. The act and the moment of taking the image is where we start to heal. Standing in front of a lens in order to witness who you are and what you're becoming is where the healing happens. It is not through the image. So if you just simply go and do the experience and pick only the images that you like, that feel really confident, really secure, you never know that in a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a couple of days, you may not come back and want all your images. The experience of the photo is the healing nature of what we do. And so I want you to treat a photo shoot, a chance to be in front of somebody's lens, as a moment. I always say to date yourself, like just pamper yourself, take a bath, shave your legs, pick your outfits. Like the lead up to a photo shoot is so delicious. And I need you to be really diligent on making that part of your day. So that the emphasis isn't on necessarily just the image outcome. It's on the self-care that it took to get there. It was on the act of saying yes to being witnessed in front of someone's lens. It was the act of showing up. It was the act of setting up your tripod or your phone or your camera, getting in front of it, setting your timer or starting your video. Those are all things that are part of the healing nature of what we do. The outcome, the photo, isn't it. And so put less of an emphasis on the outcome and more of an emphasis on the journey, because a photo is quite literally just a snapshot of time within that journey. And that is it. So take the morality out of it. A photo isn't good or bad. Your body's not good or bad. It's just an experience. And our goal is just to get to neutrality. So ultimately, the entire point of a photo is just to be able to witness where you are and how you're changing, because bodies ebb and flow. And so put less of an emphasis on the outcome and more of an emphasis on the journey. The second thing, give yourself the ability to take the photo and never look at them. You may eventually, but if you are deep in the throes of hating your body, of not feeling comfortable, take the image, do the act, get dressed, pick your outfits, shave your legs, do all the things we just talked about, and then just never look at the photos. Not until you're ready. Because again, if you are super deep into it, sometimes seeing a photo can unravel all of the work that you've already done. So give yourself permission to just not look at the image. Just do the act of setting your phone up, getting the video, and then just never look at it. Don't go through it and screenshot so that you have photos to edit. Don't go through your camera roll. Just take them and let them live wherever they're going to live. It's okay. If that's where you have to start, if that is the beginning of your journey, give yourself permission to do that and don't feel shame around it. Hey, I got to take selfies today. Cool. People are like, I don't know. I'm not ready to see them yet. There's no shame in that game, right? So give yourself the permission to not look at them. Also give yourself the permission to not like the photo if you do look at them, and choose images that only make your heart sing or make you feel confident or make you feel indifferent or make you feel like, okay, that's my body, or make you feel like, oh, wow, I didn't know the back of myself looked like that, or makes you go, oh, okay, cool. That's just where I'm at. Images that make you feel shitty in your body, you don't have to keep them on your phone if you don't want. I would encourage you to, because oftentimes you'll look back at those photos and be like, I don't know why I hated myself in this photo so much. But if you feel better about not keeping them there, don't keep them there. They're your images. This is your journey, but give yourself the permission to not like every photo. And then the last one is give yourself permission to document your life, knowing that the image is not for you. I don't know how else to explain this. Unless you have walked the journey of trying to find photos of somebody that you love, of them just living their life and not just a candid posed photo of them during prom or a family photo where you're all just lined up and smiling and cheesing. Give yourself the ability to document your life and know that intentionally it is not for you. If you are a mama and you are terrified to be in images with your children and you are the person behind the lens always, what the fuck are they going to look at when you're gone? I hate that feeling of knowing that there are people in this world that actively choose to not be in the story with their children because they're terrified of the way that their body looks. You are doing a disservice, not just to yourself, but to your babies. If you are a mama who hates your body and feels betrayed that you didn't lose the baby, quote unquote, lose the baby weight, or you're somebody who gained weight and doesn't want photos with your family or doesn't want to be in active, candid photos of like laughter and joy and all the things. How in the fuck are we going to tell your story when you're gone? If for no other reason than that, I need you to get in the camera. You need to get in front of the lens. If you don't have somebody to take your photo for you, set your phone up on a tripod, buy yourself a shitty little tripod that you can put your phone on, and then get in the front of your lens with your babies and watch yourselves play. Take screenshots, pause the video, take screenshots, and have candid photos of you and your babies laughing and enjoying life, because it isn't just boudoir. It is all images. This is how we tell our story. And this is how you heal the relationship you have with your body. And you encourage the people around you to also do the same. You never know. You just genuinely never know what kind of sunshine you're going to sprinkle on somebody by actively choosing to be in images, especially if they're feeling insecure. You're like, no, come on. Who cares? Just get in here. I want to remember today. I want to remember this moment. Come on. You might be somebody's sunshine. And you might give somebody permission that you didn't even know you could possibly give permission to. And that might start a train of them giving permission to other people. So all I'm asking is, you may not like the photo. You may not like yourself in photos. It is okay. That's a very human thing. What is not okay is putting your life on pause and not documenting your story and your journey simply because you have a perceived notion that your body isn't worthy of being in images because it isn't something that's desired by you or by society. Who gives a fuck? I've cussed a lot today. I feel very passionate about this. Sorry, Mom. She hates when I cuss on this podcast, but here we are. It's my fucking podcast. You have one life. You have one life, and we can live it in a way that feels unapologetic and joyful, and we can document it, and we can enjoy the moments, and we can look back on days where the photo may have derailed you, but then you didn't let it, and you had the best day ever, and you broke plates in Banff at a Greek restaurant after you dipped your toes in sparkly blue water. None of that would have happened if I had let that photo derail my day. And I want you to remember that the next time you see a photo of yourself out with friends and you're like, whoa, there's no way anybody will ever love me because my body looks like that. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is something that your counsel told you that you ingested and is a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. You get to have a joyful, delicious, abundant, big life in whatever size body you were gifted. You do not need to put your life on hold and stop doing things and stop the documentation of your life just because you gained a few pounds, you lost a few pounds, you've got a little bit more curve, you have a little less curve. It's okay. You still deserve to be in images, and I want you to give yourself permission to do that. So that is it for today. I love you so much. I want you to get in front of the lens. I want you to set your phone up and record. And I want you to just go do the things that set your soul on fire and document your journey, because it is important. Those photos are intended for the people that you leave behind. And so don't breadcrumb your life. Go out and live it fully and enjoy it. And every single time you question, ooh, should I get in front of the lens? Am I ready? Do I look good enough? Yes, you do. Yes, you do, baby. You deserve to be in front of that lens because you deserve to have memories of your big, beautiful, once in a lifetime moment. And who gives a fuck if you like the image or not? Because it's not for you. It's for everything that you're leaving behind and the story that you get to recount and look back on. So get in front of the lens. Know that I love you. And I so appreciate you for being here and for listening to me ramble on about the things I'm passionate about. I hope it helps one person today. And I hope that person helps another person and another person and another person, because we get to choose to be the sunshine. So I want to be your sunshine, and I want to tell you it's okay to get in front of the lens, even if you're not ready. Okay. As always, this podcast is presented by the Nood Troop and is funded by the Nood Troop. If you want to support this journey, support the message, you can become an online subscriber. It's $11 a month. You get access to all sorts of education, posing tips and tricks. We just started a Pose Like a Pro Friday, where every Friday I go over a detailed pose that you get to do at home with your own phone and your own cell phone. So it does encourage you to get in front of the lens. We do expert interviews, classes, in-person events. And again, we host retreats. We're going in October to Ireland and Scotland. We do have some seats available for that. So lots of ways for you to be a part of this journey. And if you're just comfortable being part of the podcast and this is all you want, I'm so happy that you're here. You can join in any way, shape, or form, and I will meet you where you are. And just know how much I love you. I'm so proud of the journey that you're on, and I cannot wait until we meet again on episode 7 next week. Okay, I love you. Have a good day.